We are always being asked how long a power flush will take. There is no such thing as an average time to flush a system, but let me give you a few tips. First and foremost, always do a survey of the system before you even contemplate taking on the job. If you haven't done a proper survey, then you won't know what to expect when you arrive on site. Forewarned is forearmed. Look at the type of system. Is it open vented? Is it sealed? What about the pipe work? Are there any drop feed radiators? Do those drop feed radiators have drain offs? Any double entry valves? Is it microbore or single pipe? How bad is it? Will anything need replacing? All these things could add to the time you're on site if you don't do a proper survey. There are also various power flushing machines on the market operating at 40, 50, 70 or 90 litres a minute. Some manufacturers will say that their machines operate in excess of 90 litres a minute, and engineers will have to ask themselves whether they feel such operating speeds are achievable and are safe to use with very old systems. The speed of a power flushing machine pump will also determine how long the job will take and whether the job will be done effectively. Too low a speed will mean that debris may not be removed properly. Too high and seals and valves could be compromised. It is always advisable to pre-dose a system with chemicals, and if this can be done a few days beforehand, this will save you time on site on the actual day of the power flush. I would also point out that if you drain down the system water, adding the chemicals during the refill, this will allow the chemicals to work much better, again saving you time on the actual day. The minimum time I have ever completed a power flush was 2.5 hours, and that was on a pre-dose system with magnets fitted in line and on a small system. But I have known of engineers being on site for 3 to 4 days, probably because they hadn't done a survey of the system first. If you are going to do a proper and thorough power flush, it is unlikely that you will complete the task in less than 4 hours, and I would always set aside a complete day in case of unforeseen problems. With microbore and single pipe systems, you will need to allow a day to a day and a half to complete the job satisfactorily. See our separate technical paper relating to correct flushing methods of microbore and single pipe systems. If you do not have the use of a boiler to heat the water and allow the chemicals to work effectively, assuming that you haven't managed to pre-dose the system beforehand, then the use of our thermal unit will be very useful. However, bear in mind that it will take around 30 minutes to heat the water in the Proflush tank, and then you will be flushing individual radiators initially, instead of the whole circuit. This will add a further time to the job. The use of power flushing magnets, like our Magmaster, will reduce the amount of time spent power flushing by at least an hour, and also reduce the amount of water used by at least 100 litres. Useful if the property is on a water meter. If you decide to use magnets in conjunction with the system circulator instead of a proper power flushing machine, then not only will this take much longer, bearing in mind you are relying on the speed of the circulator, at best 26 to 28 litres a minute, you will also not be in a position to reverse flow through the system. It is therefore most unlikely that you will remove all the debris by the use of this method. You can now see why there is no exact answer to the question, how long would it take? But I hope that the points raised will allow you to make some good decisions on site. If you require more detailed information about power flushing, go to our website at www.proflush.co.uk and download the appropriate documents from the FAQ section, or view other videos in the Proflush Technical Training Library. Please contact us direct if you have any queries.